Hi, my name's Judith Turner. This video is on how to do a rolled hem with your overlocker and how to do corners. Before I convert my overlocker to a rolled hem, I'd like to show you how I use my overlocker for normal clothing alterations. I have the needle in the left hand side and I only have 3 threads, and I'm just going to run a piece of fabric through just to show you. So that looks very professional. The first thing I'm going to do is to move the needle from the left hand position to the right, and when you do this, just make sure when you screw the needle back into the right hand side that you do secure the screw in the left hand side so that it doesn't fall out. Now all machines are going to be slightly different. I have a Janome, and what I'm going to do is in this model I need to lower the blade, and then I move it from a standard overlock to a rolled hem. The older Janomes will actually have a separate plate, and on the back of the plate it will say R for rolled hem and S for standard, so you'll have to change your plate. Now I've lowered the blade, and I'm going to keep that lowered. The tension dials are normally on 333 with the Janome for standard overlocking. In this case it gets changed to 4, 3 and 7, and turn to the rolled hem on the right hand side and differential feed usually around 0.5. But of course every machine is going to be different, so please just consult your manual and change it to as per their instructions. This is a very fine fabric. You'll notice that I said before that I have the blade down. I have the fabric cut so that, and I generally leave 1/4 of an inch for the roll. Sew to the very end of the fabric and then raise the needle slightly. Now I don't go past the end, I'm right at the end, and then I'm going to give the fabric just a tiny little bit of a wriggle so that it frees itself, and then I'm going to turn it, as you can see, and then start sewing. Now sometimes it's good to have your left hand up beside the sewing machine foot, just in case the fabric doesn't move forward. So I'll just show you that again. See how I'm just giving it a slight wriggle and then turning it. And again, this is where I'm going to show you, I'm going to have my hand there. See, I have to assist it. If I don't, it's just going to stay in one position. I was trying not to do that with the video because I wanted you to see what I was doing, but I did need to move it. So I'm just going to show that again. Come to the end, give it a little bit of a wriggle, turn, lower it, and the fabric should be directly underneath the needle and right on the top of the the first row of overlocking that you're doing. I'm just going to show you the very simple method to change your overlocker thread colours. I know some alteration shops that only change the centre upper looper, so they might have black in the centre and white on either side. I don't agree with that. If you're going to do a professional clothing alteration, change all of the colours. In my shops I used to have one overlocker set up in black, one overlocker in white, and another one for colours. So you can see that all you've got to do is clip the top of the reel and then bring those two. That's enough thread so that you can actually thread onto the new colour. Turn the tension dials off so that you don't run the thread through with the tension on, because that can damage the dials. I've cut the thread at the needle and pulling it through to the new colour, and then I'll pull through the upper and lower looper until the thread comes through. Once that's done, then I'll put my tension dials back, which is why I probably memorize and know all of my tension dials, because I do this. But I think that if you want to look after your machine, this is the way I believe to look after your overlocker. Many years ago I had acrylic nails and I could never thread the needle, so I started using tweezers to thread. Now I use them for my sewing machine, for my overlocker, for everything. So I'm just giving you one other example of a fabric with a different weight in it, and I'm going to turn the overlocker around in a minute so that you can see the line that I'm using when I'm doing the rolled hem. You'll notice that I have the fabric right on the edge, and so the needle is grabbing it, and as I said, it's rolling about 1/4 inch. What you can do is go around a second time, so you can go around once and then go around the scarf a second time, and you get a bigger roll hem, but it also gives a really nice effect. You could also use decorative threads in the middle upper looper. I've done that occasionally where I might get a really nice thick thread and I'll run that through on the edge of a garment. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. It's just a very brief one on how to use your overlocker doing corners. You can see there, that's the end where I've cut it, and there's the corners that are turned. If you'd like to view any other videos, you can go to my hints and tips section, which there's categories at jeanniecentre.com. Happy altering!